Night deepened and the crickets grew loud. Suhaila wondered and waited. Seemed like something was about to happen. Then, as though in answer to her wondering, a golden ladder appeared at the edge of the sill. Guess who was on it? Who do you think was on it? Oh, you guys are too smart. Too smart. It was Grandma Annie, and together Suhaila and Grandma Annie climb up to the moon. It's cold on the moon, but Grandma Annie lands first and makes her lap wider and wider so Suhaila will have a soft place to land. And then she holds Suhaila to take the shiver out of her. And they get to know one another with words and smiles and snuggles. And they look back on Earth and they see a beautiful place with so many great things happening. But they also see some sad things. A 50-foot wave was sweeping from the ocean to the land, and through swirling waters, swimmers struggled toward the surface. "Kick hard," Annie encouraged them. "Swim." Tilting her head toward her granddaughter, Grandma Annie asked, "Shall we invite them to join us, little one?" "May we?" "We have lots of room," Suhaila replies. Annie nodded and let her voice drift down. "Come, dance and get warm, babies," Annie urged. And when the next giant wave crested, all the children leaped high like flying fish. Suhaila and Annie caught them by their fingertips and pulled them up to the moon. Draping scarves around their shoulders, they swung the children round and round until they could all laugh again, loud and long. And then, they taste other troubles in the air. On the ground below, two sisters climbed down two tall towers that trembled and swayed on quaking soil. "Hang on tightly," Annie urged. When the earth stopped shaking, Annie and Suhaila watched the sisters wipe dust from their faces and stick out their tongue for some soft rain. You ever do that? Not last night though, right? Ooh, that was not soft rain. That was crazy. Come. Come, bathe and drink with us, Annie invited them. "Will they know what to do, Grandma? Do they know how to get here?" "Don't worry, honey," Annie reassured her. "They are stronger than they realize." How strong are you guys? Strong! Show me your muscles. Nice! And you're strong not only in your muscles, but in your heads and in your hearts, right? Yes. Sure enough, Suhaila watched the sisters weave a shimmering spiral and begin to climb. Grandma Annie embraced the young women at the landing, and together they scrubbed themselves clean in falls of mist. Lots of people are gathered on the moon now, and they begin to think about all that there is left to do on Earth. There's still so many gardens that need weeding and kapok trees that need seeding. Got to do some planting. Yeah. And they decide, you know what, they're going to work together. They're going to throw in their hearts and their minds and work together to make the land a little more kind. And together they build bridges and buildings and bonds between people. Look at here, all of these religions. They're praying separately. They're praying for one another and for the world. Their hands pointed upward. And you know what they realize? That they have more in common than they knew before. And that they shouldn't fight. And that really they should work together. And they have at the core just a desire to be good and to take care of one another and to love their fellow men and women. Look at all these languages that sound very different. They're pretty much the same. They're about stories about heroism and stories about adventures. And so they learn to communicate, even though they have different languages, around the fire. And this is a world that has been lost and forgotten, but it's made strong again, and people realize how important it is. And this great-grandmother, she's bowed and stooped and old, but she straightens herself up and she gets strong again. And she helps a little boy who was born in a stalk of corn. Were you born in a stalk of corn? No. Are you sure? Taro, Kalo, was it Kalo? And she helps this baby boy take his first steps. And then, this is a very important part of the book, Soetoro, for the very first time, is the one to reach down and to pull up and to heal and to help. You know why? Because now she knows how strong she is. She knows she can do it. How strong are you guys?
Very strong.
Super strong. Show me your muscles again. Nice. You are superheroes. You are. All the boys and girls on the moon, all the men and women were now part of the moon's hum. Their silhouettes could be seen from far below and gave a feeling of plenty to those who had too little. Their dancing movements gave feelings of freedom to those who were trapped in small spaces. You guys see this big moon?
Yeah.
When you see the book, look around it. You know what's around it? It's not just moon glow. That's what my daughter's name, Soetoro, means, by the way. It's 100 people. Their arms are linked. Their little silhouette. Each one of these little lines is a person. Isn't that cool? Eventually, Soetoro turned to her grandmother and again nodded twice. Grandma Annie's nose twitched and her lip trembled. That's what happened when your mama, does her lip ever tremble and her nose twitch when she's about to cry? That's what happened to my mama. I suppose it's time for you to go back, she says to Soetoro. Yes, said Soetoro, Mama misses me, I'm sure. Will you be okay? Oh, yes, little pumpkin, Annie replied. I'm so happy we had this time. With a snuggle and a smooch, they parted, looking back just once. Soetoro slid down moonbeams straight into her bed. She sat for a quiet half moment, feeling proud for having helped others heal and move upward and around. Together, those left on earth would plant those seeds in soft soil, and Grandma Annie would send the tides to nourish them. Mama, I'm home, Soetoro called into the hallway. Mama, I met her. I'm in here, baby. Come, tell me everything.